Hey guys, this is Butch's Basement Builds. Just thought I'd jump on here real quick, talk about the second car that I built since I've been back in the hobby. This car I chose to do the 55 Chevy Bel Air sedan. Had a lot of fun with this kit, although I did hit a spell that was very frustrating. This car ended up back in the box for a while. Um, but anyway, this car I ended up painting in the two-tone. It's the first model car that I've done in two-tone paint. And I chose to go with these are Mecha Empire paints, but they're actually, I believe they're actually made by MCW. They're sold at MCW, but they're made for this Mecha Empire. He's a guy on YouTube. He does a lot of videos. He tries out a lot of different products, paints, air guns, all kinds of different tools and stuff. And he has his own paint line, and I believe MCW actually made these paints for him. They spray just like MCW paints. They're pretty good. But I painted this in gloss white enamel for the back and in this electric blue enamel. And it's a pretty nice color. I thought it came out really well on this car. Um, the paint came out, I thought, really good on this. Now, this car doesn't have a clear coat on it. I still don't have a good clear coat. All I did was polish it really well. I think it's got a pretty good shine on it for not having a clear coat. I was really happy with how the paint came out on this one. A couple things I'm not happy with. One is the bumpers. They got this kind of a funny looking, they want to go up instead of back. I don't know if I could have used my heat gun and reshaped those a little bit, but I didn't try fitting them first, and I didn't realize they were that way till after I had painted them and everything. And I didn't want to try to reshape them after I had painted them, so they ended up going on the way they were. Um, I've seen some other builds that look that way too. It just looks like they're kind of, I don't know, it just looks odd to me the way they sit on there. Um, the other things I'm not real happy with this kit were my fault. Uh, One is in the hood, and I noticed I didn't do a very good job sanding here on either side of the scoop. I got some pretty good marks on there. Let's see if I can come down on it and show that to you. I got some pretty good marks that I didn't get sanded out, and I didn't see them until I started laying paint on it. I could have done a better job there. But the rest of the paint I thought came out really well, especially considering it's my first two-tone paint job. Say the paints went down just like MCW paints, just really well. I really love those paints. But it just came out really well all the way around. Not a perfect paint job, but I thought it came out pretty darn good. The interior, I just did the interior in tan all the way. I don't know if you can see in there. Use the Molotov chrome markers for details on the dash and on the doors. Got bare metal foil all over this thing. This was my first big challenge with the bare metal foil. I mean, it's just got it all over the trim on the sides, around the side windows, the rear windows, the door handles, the front windshield, the windshield wipers. I mean, just bare metal foil everywhere. And my first major flub up on the bare metal foil. I went and put my big thumb in it right there on the top of the windshield and messed it up. And I messed it up after I put the windshield in. So that made it very difficult to fix it. And it's a bummer. Of all places to mess it up, I had to mess it up on the windshield. Oh well, what do you do? But anyway, I thought the rest of it came out really good. I was really proud of how it was coming out until I stuck my thumb in it and screwed it up. But what do you do? This kit went together really well, with the exception of the interior. And where I ran into trouble in the interior was because the dash in my kit was not completely formed on the ends. So where it set down into the tub, it wouldn't set in properly. I couldn't tell exactly where it was supposed to sit because it wasn't formed right. So I tried 2 or 3 times to set it down in there, but because it wasn't formed right, I couldn't, I didn't know exactly where it was supposed to sit. So I glued it in there, tried to fit it in the body. Turns out it was in the wrong spot. So I took it out, popped it out of place, moved it a little bit, glued it back in, stuck it back in the body, and it was still in the wrong spot. I ended up screwing the paint all up in the tub, ended up pulling the whole thing apart. The kit ended up back in the box for a little while because I was frustrated with it. So I thought about contacting the company, and telling them, hey, I had a couple parts that were messed up here. I need replacements. And I figured, well, if I do that, then, it's going to take a few weeks to get the parts and all that. And I decided that since I'm new to the hobby right now and I don't have a whole lot of extra parts, that I would just go back to Hobby Lobby the next time the model cars were on sale and just pick up another kit. And that way, I'd have a bunch of extra parts. I could get the parts I need to finish this kit up, so that's what I did. When I bought the second kit, the pieces were perfect, everything went together perfect, and everything was glorious after that. So once I got the pieces that were formed correctly, the kit went together with no problems, and everything worked out great. Um, I think this is the kit that Brian is going to be doing a Pro Street version of over at Got Fuels. So that's going to be fun to watch him build that. Uh, but yeah, anyway, just wanted to see what you guys thought of my 55 Bel Air. It's the second model car kit that I have built. Got a few little quirks to it, some that are definitely my fault. But for my second car, I thought it came out pretty good. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Let me know. Bye bye.